stations in the country. Well, we've outgrown our old home, and we're ready to take it to the next level.
We are now Synergy Radio.
More power.
All day, all night.
Wait, what?
Synergy Radio 1480, powered 24/7.
Can I tell you how excited we are?
We are powerful talk that inspires change.
That's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do.
With transformational coaches ready to help you get to the next level.
You will find some things that speak to your soul.
Synergy Radio 1480 will continue to bring you all the voices you know and love.
Gotta have you here on the Yolanda Adams Morning Show.
This is Rashawn McDonald.
Welcome to the journey with Tiffany Smith.
Hello, my name is Les Brown.
I'm Paris Ely.
We're your hosts, Tristen and CC.
This is Oscar Hines.
Hey, it's Zakia Larry Live.
This is Nicole R. Coleman.
Hey, and I'm Tasha Evans.
This is the reality check, Dr. D. Yvonne Young.
Welcome back to the show. I'd like to shout out our live studio audience once again.
Tune in every day, 1480 a.m.
Are you ready for talk that inspires change?
Tune in to Synergy Radio 1480 in your car, in your house, or on any mobile device at synergyradionetwork.com.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
You're listening to KLVL 1480. It's radio at the next level.
Hey, lovebirds. Welcome back to your Love Empowerment Hour with Sitting with the Suttons, where we are all about making marriage great again. We're your hosts, CC and Tristen, and tonight we're talking about that S word. Submission. And is it really even necessary in a marriage? Before we left our last hour, we were talking about what submission is and what it's not. And what we found out is that submission is simply a choice to submit unto someone, to love someone, to lay down the power that you have in order to yield to the person that you care about. Mm-hmm. We also talked about it being mutually beneficial. And we also talked about it being just mutual in nature. It's not only just for the woman to submit, but the husband also has to submit, and that has to be under Christ himself.
Absolutely.
So let's continue on with the conversation, and let's talk about why wives are really commanded to submit.
Commanded.
Okay, Commander Mark. Commanded
I'm just quoting the Bible.
Submit.
That's all
right.
I'm saying. Just quoting the Bible.
Right. So T, tell us why it's necessary for wives to submit.
Okay, so there's a clear need for submission in all other areas of life, right? No organization can be successful without authority or headship or leadership. So if you look at businesses, they have CEOs. Mm-hmm. Sports teams have coaches. Mm-hmm. Governments have presidents and prime ministers. Shout out to 45. Mm-hmm. The Bible speaks of a need for submission in a number of relationships and scriptures. 1 Peter 2:13 through 17 commands believers to submit to government. Also in Romans 13:1 and 7. Okay. And then if in 1 Peter 5:5 commands congregations to submit to their elders. Once again, there's that S word again, right? Mm-hmm. And then you have Ephesians 6:1. Paul commands children to submit to their parents. Mm. Now, just because you call your husband daddy doesn't mean he's like a parental unit, but y'all get what I'm saying with that, right? So just like in life, there can't be two chiefs on the reservation, right? A two-headed creature is called a monster, which is what we see in a lot of marriages today, right?
Yeah, we do see a lot of monster marriages.
Boss, two people trying to be the person running things. Mm-hmm. There's nothing but contention and constant battling, but there's not much love and agreement there.
That's good.
So that's why you have to have that level of submission. Doesn't mean you're taking a subservient role. Mm-hmm. It's just you're allowing to do what you do the rest of your life. When you were a child, you submitted. When you first got your first job, you submitted. Right. When you joined the organization, had a leader, you submitted. So it's the same concept, but for whatever reason, society has made it a negative word in our marriage. Right. And it's biblically based, just like many other things.
That's a good point. You know, we don't talk about, I shouldn't have a boss at work, or the sports team shouldn't have a coach. Yeah. We don't complain about submission in that context. But
and if you do, you go start your own business.
Touche.
And then when you apply that to marriage, if you don't want to be submissive, then you just be single and be happy.
And
or
that's
marry
okay
yourself.
too.
You saw that woman marry herself recently?
No.
Oh, that was in the news. A woman was in her 40s. She just decided to marry herself.
She was like, I'm great. I'm my husband and my wife.
Yes.
I'm all I need.
I'm all of the above.
And that's okay if that is what you choose to do. In this life, thank God, He has given us the option to choose what we want to make of life. So if you decide, you know what, this submission thing, I get it. I understand it is beautiful for other people, but it's not going to be beautiful for me. Let me just go ahead and stay put. That is a very wise decision for you.
Well, it could be beautiful if you get the true meaning of it, though. If you don't just take the negative connotation that society has put out there over and over again and just saying, hey, this is what marriage is about. It is submitting to your husband. The man is supposed to be the leader of the household, pretty much in every religion. If you just look at the news, I forgot what country is, they just allowed women to drive.
Yeah.
So it's an international constant. So
Right.
But I believe women should drive in America, though.
We appreciate you for believing that. We do. So why wives are commanded to submit? Number one, because it's necessary. And number two, wives are commanded to submit because of disagreements. I've heard some women say, well, I would submit to my husband if I agree with him.
Yeah.
But then there really wouldn't be a need for submission, I guess. In that context, like we agree, what do I need to submit to? Right.
Purpose, right.
So submission is in place entirely for when husbands and wives do not agree. I'm glad this is in place because if you think about way back in the day, women were seen, they were property. Buy, sell, trade them.
Indeed.
They had no say so in anything. All the power literally belonged to the man.
Indeed.
And if she even thought about opening up her mouth and saying anything.
And it's still like that in some countries.
And it is. And so by grace, God created a doctrine of submission to help us to realize, there's still a way where two parties have power, but now it's become a choice. It's an option. Now a woman can come and say, hun, I think that's a good idea, but what about this? She now has some authority, some power, some say-so in it. So we should also be grateful that submission is even in place because what it does is it allows us to have disagreements in a healthy context where our marriage can still go forward. Absolutely. If it was all only just about power, I think that divorce rate would be even higher than this.
Oh, it'd be way over 50. Because everybody want to be a boss nowadays, even at home.
Yeah, so true. So after a husband and wife have discussed a matter, presented different viewpoints, and if they still cannot come to a decision, God has designated the husband as the final decision maker on the matter.
Indeed. So heavy is the head, where's the crown again?
Wow. I know a lot of people who really struggle with this. And, I think it's important for us to recognize that a lot of women are getting married later in life, which means they have had a lot of time to have a little power.
Yeah.
They've acquired a lot of things.
And actually, ladies, if you have a hard time struggling with this, go ahead and tell us in the comments on this Facebook Live feed why. Why is it a struggle for you to submit?
We really would like to know that because the truth of the matter is you have women who know they're going to struggle with it, but at the same time they're dying to get married.
Absolutely. They want both the best of both worlds, right?
Yeah.
They want to run a marriage, they want to be married, but they don't want a yes man, but they want a strong man. So, how does all that work together? It's like some sorcery.
I think that's why y'all have to come in and just say, look, this is the way it's going to be. And the truth of the matter is, I know me, for example, I'm a pretty, straightforward, head straight kind of person. But at the end of the day, I really want someone to take that lead. And I really think the average woman wants to be able to be with someone who will just take charge. I'd love to say, go ask your daddy. I don't know, put it off on him. I don't want to have to think about all that stuff.
Women are the master and originators of delegation. Go ask the husband. I don't know.
That's true.
He in charge.
True. But I'm going to tell you something. She may go in wanting it to be set up that way for him to take charge. But if he does not, at any point in time, guess who's going to come bust through that door and take charge?
Ooh. Jesus.
And no, you as a husband will hope that Jesus will take the wheel, but it's going to be her. She's going to, okay, you know what? I got to put my big girl panties on and I'm about to rock this out. And it's going to be very hard for that husband to get that control back. So talk to your husband, Steve. Tell him it's important.
So fellas, it's crucial that you set a precedence in your relationship as the leader in a respectful manner, right? And so that doesn't necessarily mean it's a dictatorship. Kind of like what we have up on Pennsylvania Avenue right now. It's a democracy, and you have to let your spouse understand why you're doing things. So if you take the leadership role and just tell them, do as I say, that's not going to be very effective. But if you take a approach of helping them understand your why, then your relationship blossoms more because there's more understanding of why you're making those decisions, and the submission becomes a little bit more natural because nobody likes to be dictated to.
Right. Remember when your mama used to be like, "Cause I said so"?
Exactly. Because I pay bills. Because I'm the head of the household. Things like that. Because I brought you in this world, I can take you out. I brought you down the altar, I can take you back down the altar.
That is so real. And you know what else helps? I know that in the beginning, the first few years of our marriage, you say I wasn't submissive, but I was a work in progress.
You was a work in progress.
Okay.
You was under construction.
So, and because I was under construction, what really happens in years 1 through 3, though you may trust completely the guy you married, there are still some things that have to be walked out, you know? And what helped me to become more submissive towards you, and it became easier and natural, is I looked at the consistency in you being able to make good decision making. You know, you wouldn't just make it based upon how you felt. You would come with factual, logical things.
Absolutely.
And that made me say, okay, you know what? He got it. So now today, when you be like, okay, this is what we're going to do, I'll be like, cool, daddy, let's go. I mean, I don't feel like thinking about all that stuff. No
Got
way.
you conditioned.
Trickery. That's all right. That's all right. That is quite okay. But that's what it takes, man. You have to show your woman, especially if you got you an intellectual woman.
Yeah.
Look, you're going to have to.
Sometimes you got to finesse it, man. You got to finesse it.
That's real. Come on. Preaching tonight.
Well, we do.
So, I want to hear what some people are saying on Facebook about that. Oh, we have 1 minute? Okay. Well, since we have 1 minute, what we'll do is when we come back, we'll hear from you all and what your thoughts are. But please stick around because next we are going to discuss a challenge that a lot of women face in their marriage. You do not want to miss this.
Indeed.
It's going to be good. Stick around.
In the past year, KYND became one of the fastest growing radio stations in the country. Well, we've outgrown our old home, and we're ready to take it to the next level.
We are now Synergy Radio.
More power.
All day, all night.
Wait, what?
Synergy Radio 1480, powered 24/7.
Can I tell you how excited we are?
We are powerful talk that inspires change.
That's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do.
With transformational coaches ready to help you get to the next level.
You will find some things that speak to your soul.
Synergy Radio 1480 will continue to bring you all the voices you know and love.
Gotta have you here on the Yolanda Adams Morning Show.
This is Rashawn McDonald.
Welcome to the journey with Tiffany Smith.
Hello, my name is Les Brown.
I'm Paris Ely.
We're your hosts, Tristen and CC.
This is Oscar Hines.
Hey, it's Zakia Larry Live.
This is Nicole R. Coleman.
Hey, and I'm Tasha Evans.
This is the reality check, Dr. D. Yvonne Young.
Welcome back to the show. I'd like to shout out our live studio audience once again.
Tune in every day, 1480 a.m.
Are you ready for talk that inspires change?
Tune in to Synergy Radio 1480 in your car, in your house, or on any mobile device at synergyradionetwork.com.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
And now, back to the
Hey, lovebirds. Welcome back to your Love Empowerment Hour with Tristen and CC, where we are all about making marriage great again. We want to thank you for joining us tonight with Sitting with the Suttons, where tonight we are talking about, is submission really necessary in a marriage? And tonight we're dispelling some myths about what submission really is and what it's not. And what we love to do right now, we're seeing some really good commentary on Facebook. Let's scoot on over there and see what some of our friends are saying about this topic.
Indeed. Shout out to Don Paul,
Hey,
Will
Tom.
Norwood. We got Lawrence Brooks. Haven't seen him in a while. Karen Amos, thank you. She loves our energy. We got a question from Miss Alyssa Rochelle Jones. But what if he doesn't lead? Meaning, what if the husband is not a leader? Should she be submissive to her?
And that, my friend, is what we are getting ready to talk about next. Because believe it or not, though submission is a topic, what's an even bigger topic, especially unfortunately in our community, is my husband just don't want to lead. So here's the deal. The truth of the matter is that you are going to have some husbands that this is going to be a challenge for them.
Yeah.
So Tristan's going to share a few tips, 5 tips here that can help you get through this.
Right. So, number 1, according to that question, if your husband won't lead, then keep reminding him that he's the leader. So God has called you to be your husband's helper or helpmate. And this is one of the best ways for you to fulfill that role. Now, the obvious danger is that your reminders could turn into nagging.
Yeah.
So you got to be strategic with it. And my favorite word, finesse it. And be careful and let the Spirit lead you in that.
That's good.
Number 2, if your husband won't lead, keep inviting him to. Ask him, babe, I need you to take charge in this. Hey, I need your advice on this. Give me the guidance on do this. And if he accepts your invitation, make sure you let him know how much you appreciate him stepping up and being a leader.
Right. We have to keep y'all encouraged in that.
Yeah. Keep us encouraged. Let us know our value, know our love language, so things of that nature, and apply it where necessary. Number 3, if your husband won't lead, find him some accountability or maybe a mentor. Discreetly and tactfully. Don't just walk around talking about, this man won't lead. I need somebody to come show him how to do it. But maybe you can go talk to a counselor, an elder at church.
Right.
Maybe be paired up with another couple. And maybe you all can spend time together. And that way you can get that osmosis leadership. Learn by watching.
That's good.
Number 4, if your husband won't lead, keep praying for him. There's power in prayer. So pray for what you want. You pray for red bottoms. You pray for a new purse. You can pray for a leader and a husband as well.
Okay.
Number 5, last one. If your husband won't lead, keep 1 Peter 3, 1 through 2 in mind. Likewise, wives, be subject to your own husbands, so that even if some do not obey the word, they may be won without a word by the conduct of their wives.
Wow.
When they see your respectful and pure conduct. Lead by example.
Well, let's talk about that.
Talk about it then,
I like that one. You know, I think the best life application that we have in our situation for that is when we went on this weight loss journey together a few years back. You know, Tristen and I had decided we're going to lose some weight. We're going to get this together and we're going to do it together.
Yes, indeed.
And it's going to be beautiful and we're going to lose all the weight in the world. And it was a great idea until little CC over here decided that we was going to be for real about this. But T wasn't quite ready to go at the pace that I was trying to go at.
No, I wasn't ready. Pineapples.
He was not ready. And I'm going to tell y'all something. I nagged him so much that even I got sick of it. I was like, this is ridiculous. You know, how come you won't eat this? How come you don't feel like working out? How come? And it got to the point where T was like, you know what? I'll just keep the weight because you're getting on my nerves. So
you found me like this, or you gonna keep it like this?
So one day I said, you know what, Lord? Because every day, y'all, I was praying, Lord, please help my husband. Come on, please, please, please. And then finally it just dawned on me, you know what? Leave him alone. Leave him alone. Focus on you. Pray that God will give you the patience and the strength and the fortitude to persevere towards your weight loss goals, and let God work on him. And it was such a burden lifted. Okay, it was a big burden lifted because I got tired of feeling like I was failing at helping him lose weight. So what I did, you know, all that time I had been begging T, let's get a trainer. We need to get a trainer to hold it. I already know what I need to do. I don't need no trainer. So I go out, I get a trainer. Shout out to Ketchy. Love you, girl. And Ketchy worked with me for about 3 months or so, lost 30 pounds. And guess who was on the path to losing weight all of a sudden?
I mean, she couldn't be the only fine one in the house. I mean, I'm just saying.
Y'all, when I tell you that I'm telling you, wives, leave them alone. Hashtag leave them alone.
Plant a seed and move on.
Plant a seed, move on, and leave them alone. And you will be surprised. Sometimes husbands just need to see our actions. They don't need to hear our voice all the time, the nagging and all that stuff. But it really works. And I've since then applied that same principle in other areas. And just take a deep breath, step back, and ask God to work on you. And somehow he'll start working on your husband too.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Indeed, got me. Now I'm training with Joy Diggs, Dig D Fitness.
Come
got
on.
me in here in this medium shirt, looking all righteous with it, ready to join the beard gang. Lives matter.
All right, let me find out, ladies, single ladies. If you see this face come up in that beard gang, you know who to hit up. You know who to hit up. I'm telling you.
Tell them what's next.
So. at the end of the day, this marriage thing is already tough as it is. It can be fun. It can be a lot of fun. It can be very rewarding, and it has its ups and downs. But the thing that you want to be extremely careful about is who you decide to marry. Women, you may be trying to figure out, okay, well, how do I know if he's going to be the right husband to lead my house or to lead me? Well, number one, you can start looking at it now. How does he treat his employer? Yeah. Is he always looking for a new job every 3-4 months? Is he the one talking about, I don't need to listen to the man, I can do what I want to do, he don't know what he's talking about?
Is he Team Lawrence in the beginning on the sofa for 5 years?
I mean, these are things that you look at. Look at how he treats the wait staff. I was always impressed with how Tristen treats the wait staff. I think, people can become so arrogant about things, but look at how he operates with just simple things.
Absolutely. Shout out to Chef Tiffany. She told us, posted on Facebook, that she was on a date with a guy. He tipped the waiter $1. She said that was it. Deleted his number.
That's a sure sign. Because I'm going to tell you something, ladies. Today it's the wait staff. Tomorrow it'll be you as his wife. Okay?
Then the next day it'll be your mama if she need money.
What? Ooh. I mean, he may be whining and dining you right now, but I'm telling you, stay woke.
Stay woke.
Stay woke, and eventually this man will start to show you if he is capable of leading your household and if you are going to be able to submit unto him. Do not just look at the exterior things. That don't say nothing.
If he doesn't show you telltale signs while dating that he can be a good leader, take a knee.
My man, hashtag take a knee. Share with us some final thoughts on this one, too.
Well, actually, a question came out. Do women have to submit to their husband if he's not submitting to Christ? Oh, not the producer.
Our producer. He kind of got him in the
You
spirit.
need Jesus, brother.
That is a really good question. And there are some women out there that are facing that challenge. Do I submit to my husband if he is not submitted unto Christ?
What you think?
And here's the deal. Let's go back to the beginning of what we said at the beginning of the hour. Your first job as a woman is to submit unto Christ, okay? And then unto your husband. Yeah. So if your husband ain't doing the right thing, he out there telling you to rob a bank, and you got to do it because you got to submit it to me.
But Bonnie and Clyde, I thought,
That's going to be a negative.
That's not, okay.
You need to listen to what you already know to be true, the Spirit. It has already told you what is right and what's wrong. You will not be held accountable for not listening to your husband who is not going under the leadership of Christ. So, in being a submissive wife, it does not cause you to, lose your brain and follow blindly into a situation. It doesn't mean you just go along with something without, seeking wise counsel in it. A wife's first duty, again, is to submit unto Christ, and everything else will fall into place on that. So,
exactly.
If that is you, please be wise and do what Christ would have you to do.
So, why do you think nowadays women are so strong against submission? Like, you say that to some sisters, and it's immediate hairs on the back of their neck stand up. What is it? What caused us to get here?
I'm going to tell you something. A lot of this has to do with things that predate us. And I have conversations about this with a good friend, and we talk about how there are things that have been going on for hundreds of years. Back in slavery, we've seen our mothers hold it down. When our fathers were forcefully removed out of the home, okay? Nowadays, they ain't got to be forced. A lot of them just walking out. And when they do, our mothers are doing everything that they can to survive and to create productive human beings. But what they're failing to do is to teach us the value in submission, and also helping us to understand that even though your daddy messed up, there's still good men out here that you can marry and you can be submissive to. And I always remember my mom telling me that, she always made sure that I was around positive men to understand that though your dad may have not done right, you still can get married and be happy in a marriage. And here's your role. Here's what you need to do. So a lot of us are not even being taught it. A lot of us are being told, ain't no good man out here. Yeah. And the very nature of us wants to find a good man. And then when we do, we still don't know how to submit to him because we've been told this whole time.
So we're products of our environment.
We are products of our environment. And until we say, you know what, scratch all of that noise. I'm going to listen to what the Spirit says to do right on this. We're going to continue to repeat the cycle.
Well, that's a valid point, but we can also change our environment as well. But if we're still constantly taking in negative things, watching Real Housewives of this, that, and the third, and seeing how prominent women are popping off at their men and not being submissive.
Yeah.
Not only do you have your past environment, but you have your present environment that's impacting your viewpoint on how marriage should be from a biblical standpoint.
That is good.
So some of the things you have to do, you can't change the past, but you could change your current and your future by adapting to what are you taking in and what are you allowing to come out. Yeah. But you don't always have to take that stuff in. So just be cognitive of what you're listening to, what you're watching, because what's on TV or reality or music is not really necessarily what should be done in your household and your marriage.
That is so very, very true. And on that, we're getting ready to take a brief commercial break. Please come back. We want to hear more of your thoughts. Please like, share, and follow Tristen and CC on Facebook. We'll be right back.
In the past year, KYND became one of the fastest growing radio stations in the country. Well, we've outgrown our old home, and we're ready to take it to the next level.
We are now Synergy Radio.
More power.
All day, all night.
Wait, what?
Synergy Radio 1480, powered 24/7.
Can I tell you how excited we are?
We are powerful talk that inspires change.
That's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do.
With transformational coaches ready to help you get to the next level.
You will find some things that speak to your soul.
Synergy Radio 1480 will continue to bring you all the voices you know and love.
Gotta have you here on the Yolanda Adams Morning Show.
This is Rashawn McDonald.
Welcome to the journey with Tiffany Smith.
Hello, my name is Les Brown.
I'm Paris Ely.
We're your hosts, Tristen and CC.
This is Oscar Hines.
Hey, it's Zakia Larry Live.
This is Nicole R. Coleman.
Hey, and I'm Tasha Evans.
This is the reality check, Dr. D. Yvonne Young.
Welcome back to the show. I'd like to shout out our live studio audience once again.
Tune in every day, 1480 a.m.
Are you ready for talk that inspires change?
Tune in to Synergy Radio 1480 in your car, in your house, or on any mobile device at synergyradionetwork.com.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
We are powerful talk that inspires change. All day, all night.
Hey, lovebirds. Welcome back to your Love Empowerment Hour, where we have been discussing, is submission necessary? And we have come to the end of this hour, and we're really, really grateful for you joining us in on this topic. We have so much love to share real quickly. Carl King Mays, the motivator, thank you for joining us tonight. Brian Robertson, Kelly Washington, Jay Owens, Jamaica, Charmaine, Jetty and Brandy, faithfully. Shalana Crawford, our esthetician.
Mark Martin out there making them submit.
Come on. God dog it. Carolyn Burnley, we thank you for joining us. Don Paul, as always. We just appreciate all the love and the great comments tonight. Please, again, share this with your friends. You just never know who needs to hear this message about making marriage great again. And I hope that you can agree now, after hearing this hour, that, hey, submission is in everyone's best interest, and most importantly, mutual submission. I want you to walk away with that. Husbands have to do their part, and wives have to do their part. Share some final thoughts with us on that, T.
So, once again, fellas out there, I know we had some fun tonight, but realistically, if you are expecting a woman to take a submissive position in your relationship, you have to be a leader. You have to be connected to Christ. You have to make sure she understands the decisions you're making and the why, and how you can protect, provide, and be her priest for her. Yeah. So if you make your woman comfortable, and it's not, and don't take a do as I say role, more of a I'm doing this for us role position, then I feel like personally that's worked for our marriage for 10 years. Although those first 3 was Interesting.
-3.
-3. 7. Round down. That, you can have a great relationship where your woman reveres you as the leader of the household and the family.
That's good. That's good. Let's see what any other final thoughts we have on this one.
So essentially, being submissive is submitting your power on both ends, right? So because for the lady, for the woman, it's, hey, maybe I'm out here, I'm a boss, I'm doing my own thing, but now I have a man in my life, and now I have to take a more subservient position. Right. At the same time, the man is used to doing his own thing, concerned about himself, but now I have to look out for someone else.
Right.
So now we have to share that power and rest it on the crown of the man, but make sure that we are on one accord. Yes. So if you pick the right spouse, submission is easy because you already trust that person, you love that person, they have a relationship with God, right. They have your best interest in mind. So really, if you do your pre-work or you do that pre-scrimmage, that submission scrimmage, that's what we were talking about, then you already know how they're going to act on the field when the big game comes.
Oh, that's good. You better.
I better.
This football analogy stuff is really working.
I do what I can. And the truth is, nobody really wants to yield to anyone, right? It's not a natural response. That's why you see so many people having strife about the knee right now. Right. But when you fight against submission, there's always going to be a constant frustration if someone's always fighting for power. But if you allow each other to just flow in your positions that God intended, then there's going to be unity, harmony, and all that good, beautiful stuff.
Right. And just remember that submission was created to help with handling disagreements. That is purely the whole purpose of it. This is not about a power struggle. This is not about who should have the most power. This is genuinely looking at every situation and saying what is the best thing to do for the both of us, the we, not the me.
And it's like, Carl King motivated, he submitted to his wife and became a vegan.
Wow. And he's looking mighty all right. He's
looking all natural and holistic out there.
We love you, Carl.
Shout out to Misty,
and Misty
for making him submit. Take a knee, Carl, to the meat.
So bad.
So a lot of people are worried about what their family and friends may say. Oh, girl, what I look like in front of my family submitting to some man.
Or worse yet, you got them aunts and why you always
why you fixing his plate first?
Yeah, come on.
Make him fix his own
Come
plate.
on. I'm telling you, them aunties and them mamas will get you in trouble.
Especially the single ones.
That's real.
So don't be worried about the culture. Do it for Christ.
Yeah.
Don't do it for the gram. Do it for your man. I just make that up. So, but once again, the Bible says, be ye not of the world just because you're in the world.
Right.
So don't conform to the world around you. Let the world conform to the God in you.
That's it. And I believe that if more of us in the Christian community would show the good side of this, not so many people would have such a negative taste in their mouth about it. But again, it is mutual. Both parties have to do their part in the submission role.
It takes two to tango.
It does.
It takes two to submit to.
Well, we want to thank you again for joining us on this hour. As you all know, we are all about making marriage great again, and we're going to be attacking some tough conversations here, and we're hoping that it will help you in your situation and that it will help those around you in their situation. And as other people start to see your marriage flourish from the right decisions that you're making, hopefully it will encourage them in seeing that marriage really can be healthy, it can be happy, it can be fun, and it can be worth sticking to.
Indeed.
So as you know, we like to end every Love Empowerment Hour with our affirmation. We never like to leave the hour without speaking words of life over our situations and over our marriages. So tonight, if you'll please raise your right hand, we'll go ahead and get that kicked off.
Today, I will commit to being a better person than I was yesterday.
Today, I will be open and honest with myself.
Today, I will be a better communicator.
Today, I will rid myself of negative views of dating and marriage.
Today, I will do my part in making marriage great again.
Thank you again for tuning in with Sitting with the Suttons tonight, where we are all about making marriage great again. Again, we are your hosts, Tristen and CC, and we encourage you to like our page for more great marriage, love, and single advice tips.
Indeed. Shout out to Roy Twyman with Above Average T-Shirt Company for making these great shirts for us. We're going to tag him and put his information in the Facebook Live feed, so check him out there.
Well, we hope you have a great rest of the week. Join us again every Wednesday, 7 to 8 p.m. at Synergy Radio Network. Take care.
The views and opinions expressed on KLVL 1480 talk programs are those of the host, guest, and callers and are not necessarily those of this station, its owners, management, other hosts, or advertisers. Show topics on this station may include conversations on any lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practices. KLVL, a Synergy Broadcasting Company.